Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're listening in from tonight. This is Mike McCarthy from Colorado. I'm what's called a 500K in XANGO, but tonight I'm a newbie in XALO, and that's what we're so excited to talk to you all about today. Before I get to the exciting part, let me share with you just a little bit, if I may, of my story so you can see where I'm coming from and maybe somebody out there can relate. I've been in direct sales since I was 19, and my income pretty much always depended on my ability to perform. That was fun and exciting when I was young, but as I got older and had a family in my 30s and 40s, I realized if anything ever happened to me, my family would be in trouble. And over the years, I saw lots of people lose their jobs with different companies that I was with, and I thought, my goodness, what if that happened to me? And, you know, my late wife, Linda, was very concerned and very wise. She knew that I needed to get out of the rat race, basically, and get into something a little bit more stable. We started looking. We looked at all kinds of things, as I'm sure many of you have, and, of course, as fate would have it one day, the company that I've been working for 16 years filed bankruptcy, and my high-paying job was gone, and it was gone overnight. Luckily for us, Linda had been building up a little network marketing business on the side, and it may not sound like much to you guys, but she had it up to $3,500 a month, and that saved our bacon for a while, I'll tell you, until we found a better company or another company that the timing was a little bit better. Let me say it that way. We built that company on up and out, and there was a problem with that company, as there is with many of them, but this particular one had a single owner. And great promoter, great accountant, but didn't really understand the industry much, never been involved with it, never understood it, and he certainly didn't understand the distributors. We had to leave that company and move on, and that's where I was at 10 years ago. And that's when we found XANGO. I will say this, it's been the best business decision I've ever made. But anyway, hey, listen, let's get to the exciting part. I'm excited tonight to have with me my sidekick, Betty Q. Betty's a 200K in XANGO, but in XALO, she's a newbie just like me. Betty?
Hey, thanks, Mike. Well, it's a good time to be in this industry, and especially with this company. And, Mike, the contents of that little purple box that you're holding right there, and this was taken about a month ago, a little bit before when this product launched, and there are lots of warehouse boxes there in the warehouse behind us. But I'm telling you, the contents of that box has already changed so many lives. Talk about being in the right place at the right time with the right product. Tell you, mere words fall short of describing what we've got in our hands here. And I love the business model. I was first introduced to network marketing. I was back in my 20s. And actually, my husband and I were at that time kind of living what most people think of as the American dream. We owned our own business, and it was a restaurant that actually really owned us. And unfortunately, our marriage didn't survive that. But what did survive was my interest in the industry. Because my father-in-law, Bill, got involved in the industry and introduced it to us. And in short order, we had basically furnished the basement of our new home with $3,000 worth of soap. A lot of money in those days. A lot of money now. But anyway, I went door to door to try to sell it. And
well, thank goodness our business has changed quite a bit since then.
Yeah, the industry has evolved. Well, needless to say, I wasn't a success with that company, but my father-in-law was, and he took it to Argentina and made a bloody fortune. So later, I got into real estate and in the Washington, D.C. area, and was successful there for many years and had a lot of flexibility, but the longer I was in it, the more often my thoughts went back to Bill's success in network marketing, because it didn't matter how good the month was. I had to start over on the first day of the next month.
I can relate to that.
Yep. And I love to travel, but sure, I didn't have geographical freedom. So I started dabbling in the industry in the early 90s, and then in the mid-90s, Mike, I met you and Linda.
Yep.
And at that time, you guys had been with the company for about 2 years, but were already matching my income from mortgage banking, and you weren't starting over at zero every month. So I got excited, jumped in with both feet full time, had moderate success, but never made what I needed to make to thrive. Things happened with that company. You kind of referenced it there. And I tried, and later I tried others, and that happened, and same thing. Just things happened. Bottom line, when Linda called me to about XANGO, I told her no. And interestingly enough, it wasn't because I'd lost faith in the industry, because I'd seen it work for so many people firsthand. But I had finally lost everything. I was living in the basement of my mom's house. I had to take all my critters in. I was basically relying on them for sustenance. and I'd lost faith that I could do it or do anything for that matter. Thank goodness, I'm telling you, Linda didn't take my first answer as the final one, because once I made my burn the ships decision to do this thing, in a year's time, I was back on top financially.
Well, yeah, Betty, you know, we did help a lot of people with their health back then in the beginning, but almost more rewarding to me was to see you turn your life around and watch what you were able to do for your family, and especially for your mom and, you know, and your stepdad there before he passed away.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, again, but what we're talking about here today is XALO, folks, and XALO is a brand new division, and it's a brand new opportunity. And it's a risk-free ground floor opportunity. And it's really smoking, isn't it, Betty?
It sure is.
You know, it contains something called ageless, folks, and that's for anyone who wants to turn back the clock a little bit or slow down the aging process. You know, with ageless, we have a product for those over 30, and with limitless, we have a product for those under 30. And behind XALO, let's look behind it for a little bit. This is what makes this opportunity risk-free, folks. This is unbelievable. It's the company behind XALO, and that company is the company that brought the mangosteen to the world back in 2002. The company is called XANGO, and it did launch back in 2002, and it's changed millions of lives. And since then, it's actually done over $2 billion in global sales, and they're currently in over 40 countries, and they've created over 120 million dollar club members. That's people that's earned over $1 million with them. That's kind of cool. You know, not bad for a part-time thing, huh? But anyway, over 4 million checks have been written, and on those checks, not one of them has ever been late. So that's huge. And also, they do contribute, I believe, at 7% of every sale goes to feed starving children all over the world in third world countries, as well as one of the largest contributors in the world to Operation Smile. And, you know, this decision to give back, this was made by the founders, plural, more than one, and it was made by a gentleman by the name of Gordon Morton and his brother Joe Morton. And they did that before they ever opened their doors, never made a dime before they, you know, and they made that decision to do that. And I really think, and so do a lot of us, that this is the reason the company has been so blessed. And like I say, having more than one founder helps me sleep a lot better at night. So anyway, guys, look at this. XANGO did $1 billion in sales on one product in 5 years, broke every record in our industry, never been done by any other company in our industry. Not to mention, we became a $1 billion brand faster than any of these other traditional companies that you see here, like Dell, Starbucks, Apple, Microsoft, Nike, several others. The first 10 years, XANGO broke every record. But guys, for the next 10 years, it's Katie bar the door. Betty?
You got it, Mike. And that's because XALO offers solutions. The products address not only today's issues, but the problems of the future. Imagine having a product that could turn back the hands of time. Cool. You know, roughly 10,000 baby boomers turn 65 years old today, and about 10,000 more are going to do it tomorrow, and 10,000 more the day after, and the day after that, and that's going to continue every day for the next 16 years. Now, these consumers, we baby boomers, we're looking to nutrition as a means to delay the aging process. The growing sector in anti-aging is focused on longevity and healthy aging. The baby boomers are that proverbial pig in a python, simply a demographic bulge that's driving this anti-aging market. Now, there are two reasons why the next 10 years are going to be Katie bar the door, as Mike says, because it's going to dwarf what's happened up until now. One, XANGO offers solutions to people's health that they can't get anywhere else. And number two, it's fueled by an opportunity engine that's unlike anything in our industry today.
That's right. You know, this pay plan is like gasoline being poured on a brush fire. Betty, why don't you just take a minute here and hit a couple of the high points and show and tell people how they can earn money in XALO. And Betty, tell them how they can do it quickly.
All right, and I'm supposed to do this quickly too, but this slide is here because the very first thing, Mike, this is a volume-based plan, and that is so critical because we just create teams, but there's no structure required within those teams. And then we have lifestyle bonuses so people can make money quickly. They start at a very low level of $5K, and you can drive your own dream, but you're not forced to buy a car. If you want to put your bonus towards a dream vacation or sending your kids to private school, you still get that full bonus, not a reduced one for not buying the vehicle. And then there are rank advancement bonuses that start at $20K and go all the way up through the levels of Premier, all the way up to $500K. And if you get in this thing and you see it and you do it quickly, then in 4 years' time, you're going to have over $180,000 in bonuses on top of your lifestyle bonus, your car bonus, your weekly power start that has a 9-level unilevel with 5% on the 9th level, on top of the global bonus pool, on top of the customer program. And going back into this global bonus pool, I just want to highlight that a second. This is like profit sharing. It means that we are, even if we don't have anybody in Russia, for example, and Russia is exploding, then we find joy in that as distributors here in the U.S. because we participate in that in a profit-sharing situation. We have a customer program and a 50% payout, and on top of this, on top of the dollars, trips and cars is a whole bit, and I'm telling you, if you don't want to have fun, this is not the place to be. So, Mike, let's go into this.
Yeah, listen, hey, now that we've talked a little bit about the opportunity, let's take a minute or two here, guys, and revisit the product and what makes it so unique and powerful in the marketplace. Because really, if you'll stop and think about this, without the product, we wouldn't have a business. It just wouldn't even be a business. So it's becoming more and more important to people nowadays to control how they age, and awareness to aging is starting earlier and earlier. In fact, scientists are saying that aging starts at 30. So what if it were possible, guys, to slow down the signs of aging from the cellular level and look and feel younger? What if we could choose how we age? So, look at this. What are the signs of aging there, Betty? My God,
well,
you got
I don't even want to look.
Loss, inflammation.
Memory loss.
Oh, boy, that's me. Wrinkles, whatever. Anyway, the anti-aging business is a $300 billion market globally. So, a lot share there.
And I tell you what, Ageless is the answer to this. Ageless works from the inside out at the cellular level. And there are 9 ingredients in Ageless that make up 3 different blends. And the important thing to remember is that the amount of each ingredient in the product is enough to produce a therapeutic effect in the body. And all the ingredients work together synergistically for a greater effect than if you took them all separately. Now, the first blend is for cellular regeneration. Ingredients work at the DNA level. The second is the rejuvenation blend, which balances out the hormones and gives mental and physical stamina. The third is cardiovascular, because we know that the number 1 killer is not cancer, but heart disease for both men and women. Mm-hmm. Just think of being able to have the choice to avoid a stroke or a heart attack. Now, the key to Ageless, and let me just run over these ingredients very quickly. They're so important. The key to the Ageless formula is the mangosteen, the powerhouse. And to see the power of this botanical, go to PubMed.gov. Do a search on xanthones, and this is what sets us apart from every other botanical. And xanthones is spelled Xanthonnes. And you can find thousands of studies from around the world proving that these xanthones are antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-tumor, and anti-inflammatory. And that's huge because inflammation is the root of aging.
How about those red berries there, Betty? Yeah, see, those are called lychee. And, folklore goes back and says for thousands and thousands of years, lychee, it's been called the fountain of youth. Lychee polyphenols address aging actually from kind of like the inside out. What we do at XALO is we use a patented process of polyphenols, and that's got the science behind it. Studies show fine lines and wrinkles, aging spots, all the things we're talking about there, Betty, disappearing after just a few weeks. And studies show that within 10 weeks or less, belly fat, that dangerous visceral fat that surrounds your organs around the middle there, decreased compared to, the placebo group that they tested it with. But maybe that's why some of us are losing around the middle, huh, Betty?
Hey, that's worked for me. Actually, I have. lost a couple of inches around the middle. And I'm telling you, this is so exciting.
Looks great.
Well, that black substance you see over there on the right is a botanical called shilajit. Now, this has been around for billions of years, used in Ayurvedic medicine forever, has the consistency of tar, and it's found high up in the Himalayas. It's kind of like a black tar substance that eases out of the mountains. And this is interesting to me because it was this is one time, it was a monkey see, monkey do business, because the way humans started using this was that they saw these monkeys going onto the rocks and pull it out and eat it. And those monkeys had more stamina and vitality, and they had more and healthier offspring. Their hair was better than the monkeys in the valley. And so the humans copied the monkeys. So it's interesting. Monkey see, monkey do. You got it. Now, the Sanskrit word for shilajit means conqueror of mountains, destroyer of weakness. And it has in it something very, very important that more studies are done on now, and it's called fulvic acid. And that's spelled F-U-L-V as in Victor, I-C. And this increases permeability between cells, and they're the most powerful electrolytes known to man. So in the fulvic acid contains 85 trace minerals, and these are minerals that actually absorb in our body. Now, the rejuvenation blend, the first one there is leucine. It's a branched chain amino acid, something the body can't make on its own. So it's crucial that we get this in our bodies. We start at the age of 40, losing muscle at about 0.5% to 2% a year. Mm-hmm. And so adding leucine to the diet helps decline that loss. Now we have GABA, which is an adaptogen, and an amino acid, promotes focus, helps calm the nervous system. It's a sleep aid. And this is so interesting also because GABA, if you take it at night, helps your body produce more HGH, which is human growth hormone. And Hollywood and other people spend thousands of dollars a month on these injections. The next thing is tribulus, herb used for hundreds of years, helps maintain healthy testosterone levels, mostly known for its aphrodisiac effect in men. Now, aloe vera, we all know this and all familiar with it, aids the gut in digestion and helps the body to detox. And we have our third blend, which is the cardiovascular, helps with circulation, cholesterol. The grape skin reduces coronary heart disease. Beetroot works for cardiovascular and circulation. And again, it's important to know that all the ingredients used in this ageless formulation are in the amounts that were in the scientific studies. It's not a fairy dusting of ingredients so that people are able to that companies are able to put the latest buzzwords on their product labels. This stuff works. And ageless will bring tremendous wellness to the body. It's pretty close to a miracle from the stories that are coming in. And Mike, you have a story actually that people need to hear.
Well, yeah, I do. And, I don't know why, but several years ago, probably 15, 16, 17 years ago, I noticed my lower in my feet and my toes in particular just really cold and ice cold. A few years back, I had a encounter with a blood clot actually in my lung, and they put me on Coumadin at that time. And after just a few days, a week or so on that Coumadin, my feet were warm for the first time in years. And I thought that was kind of neat, but I sure didn't want to stay on the Coumadin any longer than I had to. So when they took me off of it, blood clots dissolved and went away. And they took me off that Coumadin, and my feet turned back cold again within just a very short time, or maybe a week, less than a week actually. And they've been cold. I've been on this product a month. After about a week, my feet are warm, and now they're warm as toast, Betty. Don't even have to wear my wool socks to bed. So this stuff works, guys. Pretty exciting when you have a story like that. So anyway, the products that complete the XALO line are Reload, Ignite, and Limitless. So let me tell you a little bit about Reload. It has key ingredients designed to build lean muscle, increase strength, and reduce muscle loss. You take it after you work out, run, exercise, or I take it at night before I go to bed, and it's amazing helping repair that. Plus, it tastes delicious. And then there's Ignite. Ignite is our nitric oxide product. It's an important product because nitric oxide is critical to a healthy heart and circulation. but you can't get it from food. You must help the body produce it. And actually, there's a book written by Dr. Louis Ignarro called No More, that's N-O, More, Heart Disease. Ignarro won the Nobel Prize back in the late 90s, I think it was 98 or 99, for his work on nitric oxide molecule. And in the book, Ignarro, and that's spelled Ignarro, I-G-N-A-R-R-O, interesting book, you can pick it up anywhere. He said that nitric oxide can prevent and even reverse heart disease and stroke. That's a powerful statement. And like I say, he won the Nobel Prize. The guy knows what he's talking about. But anyway, I don't think any age group is immune to these symptoms. Look at this. Tired, stressed, whatever, just worn out. I know the biggest complaint doctors tell me that they get is people are just exhausted. And we actually found an answer to this. Betty?
Well, the marketplace found the answer, yeah, but you look what the answer is. The Red Bulls, the Monster drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's $20 billion answer that's expected to double over the next 5 years. And in the news already, there are so many deaths that have occurred by consumption of these energy drinks. So not a great solution, really.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at XANGO's solution, or actually XALO's here. What you have is 4 to 6 hours with limitless of sustained energy and mental acuity. Not the highs, not the lows, no damage to the adrenals. And for the under 30 group, there is a way they can actually get paid. They're already spending money on this. They're just basically switching stores and buying from themselves instead of the junk drinks. They can save money because ours is a lot cheaper. It's called, what is that movement, Betty? MB30?
MB30, Millionaire by 30. It's exploding all over nationally and globally, actually. Russia, I know, has taken off with it, and I understand that our office in Milan, Italy, just got it, and I'm happy about that because that's one of my favorite places to visit.
And it's all tax deductible.
Yeah.
You do a business meeting when you're over there, so that's another perk of this. So anyway, there is limitless energy, limitless health, limitless opportunity. Just look at the comparison here. Look at the calories. Betty?
Well, look at the calories in Red Bull. You've got 220, 52 grams of sugar. Monster, 420, 93 grams of sugar. XALO Limitless, 4 calories and less than a gram of sugar. No synthetic caffeine, no preservatives, all natural ingredients. So those are the products, just a real quick snapshot, and I'd love to take a minute here and just make everybody's eyes cross. Because I want to show this slide because when you look at it, although it seems powerful and great because we have a unilevel that pays down 9 levels and actually pays 5% on the 9th level, but the real power of this pay plan is not shown in this depiction. And because you can see if you just travel up along the top, you'll see 1K over on the 3rd column, and it shows that it goes down to level 4 where they're paid. That is always, when you're looking at levels on this chart, you're always looking at the minimums. On 1K it paid at least 4 levels, 5K at least 5 levels, and so on. All right? So this will really make your eyes cross, and I kind of apologize to you, so just ignore all the colors and the lines here, but go to the upper left-hand corner, and you'll see across from L1 in red Jen's name, and she's a premier. So you can just pretend that it's a year or so from now, and that you are Jen. The next thing to do is to follow that down to the left-hand corner in the bottom, and you'll see L22, and you'll see Ann. And Ann has just placed a reorder for Ageless. And what this computer is going to do is search Ann's order up to see who is qualified to get paid on levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so what happens is that we go all the way up to Jen because she's the first person, she's a premier, that's qualified to get paid 8 levels. So Jen is going to get paid on Ann's order, but not only that, she's going to get paid on all the orders in between. So rather than let's flip back to the last slide. So Jen is a premier. According to this picture here, she should be paid 9 levels. Instead, she's going to be paid on all the way to the bottom, 21 levels. And, of course, the premier above her is going to be paid all the way to the bottom as well. Now, you don't have to understand this pay plan for it to work. It does work, and XANGO will pay you whether you understand it or not. But I wanted to show this because if you're looking at this as a business, and every company out there will tell you that their pay plan is the best, but this is what sets us apart in the marketplace. When you understand dynamic compression and when you build your business, this dynamic compression feature of the pay plan will set you free financially. Now,
for sure.
Yeah, and so let's go over here real quick because when I got started back 10 years ago, it took me a while to really grasp dynamic compression. I thought the company was paying way out too much money and it was going to go broke. But what I could understand was this example to show me geometric progression and to show me that I didn't have to go out and have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers to sell this product to, like I did when I started in the 70s, way back in the caveman days of network marketing. So, Mike, will you kind of take this away and show them how this works?
Yeah, well, all this is, guys, is what's coming down here is you're looking at these levels. So let's look at level 1, and let's say that you're going to go out here, and again, like Betty said, you're going to actually go out here and you're going to talk to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 people, and those people are going to use the product and love the product, but may never build the business. Maybe just tell a friend or two, that's about it. But let's say you find 3 here, and that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for 3 Betty Qs, 3 people that really smell the coffee and want to be free financially. So those 3 go out and they order, those 3 on level 1 there, Betty, they're going to order their product, say $100 worth of product or 100 points, and the company's going to pay them 2%. You make 2% on level 1. That's a whole whopping $6 on 3 people. But when those 3 on level 1 go get their 3, now you got 9 on level 2. They order, that's $900 times 5%. That's $45, or a total cumulative of $51. Here's level 3. It goes on down and down and down and down, and you can see here what happens. Once you get down to level 6 down here, you're making about $5,000 a month. You're making $3,600 a month just on level 6. And guys, I don't know about where you work, but most people, you know, for $3,600 extra a month, that'd be a pretty nice raise on top of what you're doing. Remember, this is extra money, and most people do this business part-time. Our pay plan goes all the way down through 9 levels, and this is why it's so important and so exciting. So let's take a look at that. 9th level down there, that's where all the people are always at. Most companies pay 6, 7 levels. Very few pay 8 or 9, and I don't think anybody I've ever heard of hit 5% on level 9, but XALO does, and that's where it's at. $98,000, guys, and there's people that have done that already. So it's doable, and when you add it all up, you're looking at you know, a whole bunch of money. I mean,
that's per month, Mike.
Oh, that's per month.
That's per month.
Yeah, but let's just say that you have a 90% failure rate, and you guys don't do that, and it drops down, and you make 10% of that. Still $14,000 a month. So basically, that's the way this thing shakes out. And most people order more than $100, Betty.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Most of us are on 200 points or $200 a month. And if you do that, then of course that 10% of
failure
rate. 10% failure rate will end up being 28,000. And then there are other people that we want to go out and build a couple of extra teams because we want to maximize those top levels. But really, this is just to show you what can happen with the duplication process. So I tell you, with XALO, you are in the right place. We're in the right place. It's the right time with the right product and with the right opportunity.
That's right.
And so,
right.
You know, the question you might ask yourself now is this the right time for me?
That's right. And, you know, again, like I say, it's really all about timing. Timing is what it helps you find those 3, and you'll know when you find them, they'll build the business. That's just the way it works. You know, when I got started back in 2003, the people I'd worked with in the real estate business for years and years laughed, "Oh, Mike, those things don't work. You're wasting your time." They didn't want to get involved, didn't want to for whatever reason. But, you know, when 2008 came around, the real estate crunch hit, all of a sudden a lot of those people were open and came aboard and started building. So, guys, get back to the person who invited you on the call. Let them know where you see yourself fitting in. You know, usually we find that people fall in 1 of 3 categories here. The first group are people say, "Oh, I wouldn't want to do that business, blah, blah, blah," for whatever reason. But I sure want to try that product. So, let me go ahead and get registered with the company and get my product on out here and get it in my body and start feeling better right away. That's the first group, and you'll run across a lot of people like that. And some of those people kind of upgrade a little bit later on and fall into the second category, and those are people that do the same thing. They just want to use the product, they get registered, but they'll share it with their buddy or their mom or their grandma or somebody, and that way they get a little bit of money coming in. They don't have to take that money out of their grocery budget. So that's a second group. Then there's a third group of people. Those are people kind of like Betty Q. These people want to go all the way with it. They're looking to make major changes in their life, and this is something that they can add to whatever they're already doing in life. This is called extra. Extra is good. So an extra $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month is always good. And you're looking for that person. You'll find them. You're looking for 3 or 4 like that, and that'll set you free financially. And guys, I've found that there's no guarantees in life. As my friend Teresa Horab up in Niagara Falls, New York, always says, you've either been going through challenges in the past in your life, you're going through them right now, or rest assured, you're going to be going through them in the future. So it's common knowledge, guys, that a smart person prepares and plans for the future. So, it's kind of a comfort to wake up the first day of the month and know that all your bills are paid. There's nothing like residual income, believe me. So another thing I love is living in Colorado, just, vacation during the week. I don't like to go to Vail and Aspen on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock and stand in the lift line with 300 people. It's more fun to go on Tuesday morning when there's maybe 8 of us there. So that's what's going on, guys. Take a serious look at this thing. It works.